Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sean here from Zoobox, and today I have a very special video for you. Today we got another product review. We're going to be checking out some Delta 9 gummies from the people over at Elevate. Yes, this is one of their newer products. It's Delta 9 plus live resin, and we're going to talk all about that after we watch this little video, because you're probably curious, well, what is Elevate? What is ElevateRight.com? Like, what can I hope to find there? Well, here you go. Elevate was founded by a group of men and women with a combined 25 years of cannabis experience after witnessing the healing powers of hemp firsthand. Since then, Elevate has focused on research and bringing cannabinoids to market in an effort to create the most effective and safest products on the market. They are now a leading distributor of Delta 8 and CBD in the United States. They offer a range of THC and CBD products for all your recreational and medicinal needs. So head on over to ElevateRight.com and don't forget to use promo code ZOOBOX at checkout for 20% off your first order. So this is the second product from Elevate that I've reviewed. I reviewed a few months ago. I reviewed their Delta 8 gummies. You can go check that out on the channel if you'd like. But today we're going to be talking about the Delta 9 live resin. Like I said, this is kind of a newer SKU for them. Shout out to Chris for making this video possible. He reached out and asked me if I wanted to check out some of their stuff, and I was very intrigued when he offered up the Delta 9 live resin, because I have done everything under the sun with a lot of these products. I've done Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, THC 0, HHC, and so on and so forth, but I've never done Delta 9 live resin, because not only is Delta 9 actually like a preference I have, which I think it is probably for a lot of people, but the live resin aspect of it I thought was very interesting. On the website over at ElevateRight.com, they explain it as so. It says, unlike regular Delta 9, live resin is made from freshly harvested hemp flower that have been flash frozen to preserve peak freshness and the highest concentration of terpenes and cannabinoids. You will get an explosive amount of potency with live resin compared to regular Delta 9 THC. So yeah, so it was cool. I was like, cool. It'll be a little bit more potent, a little more punch in there. The bottles come with 30 gummies per bottle at 15 milligrams each, so the total is 450 milligrams per bottle of Delta 9 live resin THC. Or is it Delta 9 THC live resin? Who can say? I'm not a doctor. Are you a doctor? No, you're not, so be quiet. Anyways, so I checked them out. I've been testing them out over the past week since I got it. I always do that. I like to do that whenever I check out a new product. I like to kind of go down like the doses. So I started off with 15 milligrams just to see what that would be like, just at a base level. Then I did 30 milligrams. Then I did about 45 to 50 milligrams. And we're going to talk about all the different experiences. If you've never been to the channel before and you don't know me, and you don't know how I like to review things, oftentimes I take a much more kind of everyman approach. It's a little bit more basic in a certain way. I'm not going to get into all the lab testing and all of those things. All of that stuff is available at ElevateRight.com, and you can go check that stuff out for yourself. I come from more of a layman's approach, because I take these things to actually kind of mitigate some ailments I have, we'll call them. So I suffer from sleeplessness, mild depression, and mild anxiety, and I'm always looking for something to kind of mitigate the symptoms of those things. I don't really want to get hooked on pharmaceuticals and deal with my problems that way. I like to find different coping strategies. So over the past few years, I've been dabbling with these kinds of products, trying to find something that will be able to strike a good balance. So just off the top, before we get into the kind of the particulars, before I get very hyper specific, just right off the top, let's just give you a little summation about how I felt about this product. I thought the Elevate Delta 9 live resin gummies, I thought they were really, really great. It is one of the cleanest highs I've ever had with any edible product that I've had in the past couple years. It's a very clean high. There's no grogginess. I mean, even when I took up to like 50 milligrams, and then I slept great that night as well, which is, one of the reasons why I look to these products. I slept great and I woke up feeling refreshed. I didn't wake up feeling like somebody had kind of hit me in the face with a pan. You know what I mean? Like when you have that cartoon levels of grogginess, it takes you like 10 or 15 minutes to get the engine going. You got to have that extra cup of coffee just to get basic functions. back and running. Not so much with this. I didn't feel anything, nothing of note. And and it's interesting because I kind of have taken a break from these products over the past few months, so my tolerance is much lower. So this should have kicked my butt, right? But it didn't in the bad way. Like, it's still very potent. The potency is definitely there, especially once you get into the 30, 40, 50 milligram doses. You're definitely going to feel it. Let's just start off. So the 15 milligram experience, I thought this was a great way to kind of take the edge off. It just kind of helped me relax a little bit, and I was able to walk around, be completely functional. I was not noticeably high. It kind of reminded me a lot about the way that people describe like taking certain types of tinctures and CBD oils, like back before this kind of stuff was on the market. I had an experience very much like that. And I really enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed just like just feeling, I don't know, less encumbered, less stressed out. I tested it in a few different situations, just in my everyday daily life, and I thought it worked really, really well. Just for that, so it's like kind of like a good way to or a good option if you want to kind of microdose a little bit. Like, so if you wanted to take one of these, let's say like every 3 or 4 hours during a day, if you just wanted to kind of maintain some sort of baseline high without it being too much or too incapacitating, you take one of these every couple hours, I think you're going to be right as rain. You're going to feel really, really, really great. And again, I did that all throughout a day. I went to bed that night, woke up, no grogginess, nothing like that. I didn't miss a beat. In fact, I think it actually even helped me kind of hone in on things. One of the things that I actually like about these products, and maybe just about being stoned in general, is that I really just kind of lock in and give my full attention to something. Whatever I'm working on, it actually ends up being something that helps me be productive in a weird way. Like I do live streams occasionally, and I use these kinds of things to facilitate those, to kind of lower my inhibitions a little bit, make me more comfortable, less stressed out, and hopefully, and I hope whenever I try these things and I do that stuff, I hope that it kind of it doesn't dull my brain knife too much. So the next session, the next time I did them, I took 30 milligrams. Now this was we were getting into more like traditional high territory. Definitely felt it. It's one of those things you start feeling it in your body. You start kind of this warmness creeping up your back. Feels really good. Feels really great. You're completely relaxed. And I was completely functional. I was probably a little goofy, but nothing major. Nothing too incapacitating. But I have to say, I still felt very high. It just didn't have like all the BS that oftentimes comes with products like this, where you kind of feel crappy a little bit. I didn't feel like that at all. Like I said, one of the things I really want to drive home in this review is how clean of a high this is. Like, these are very high quality products. Probably amongst the highest quality I have ever had in the few years doing this stuff. Because, like I said, I've tried so many different kinds, different variations, different brands, and I would say Elevate is definitely in my top 3 brands that I've experienced thus far, mostly because of this cleanness. Because it does have something where, well, I would agree. I think the live resin is definitely making this more potent. There is something about Elevate, and I felt the same way when I tested out their Delta 8 gummies, which it's a much more mellow experience, and it's a much slower roll. Even when you take the 15 milligrams, it takes a little longer to really kind of kick in, but that high, it lasted way longer, and the peak doesn't come until much later, and the come down is way more subtle. Like, there's no crashing. It's a very comfortable swing up and swing back down. The thing that's probably might frustrate people, or might not understand or not appreciate the first time they try an Elevate product, is that it takes a little bit longer than maybe your average edible to kick in. At least it did for me. Now you got to understand, there's tons of factors that play into something like that, like your diet, etc., what's going on with your body chemistry, in terms of how edibles are going to react to you, or how you're going to react to the edible. So to keep that in mind. But I would say, considering that this is the second Elevate product I've tried, and I've had a similar experience with that one as well, I would say that there's probably something there, and it probably has to do something to do with the way they manufacture the products. It has something to do with their methodology there. And I really appreciate that. It feels like it's almost like it's a more elegant brand. It's like the adult brand. You know, so often there's so many things that you're like drinking the Miller High Life of Delta 9 products, and then you get to like Elevate and you're drinking Stella Artois or something like that. You're just drinking something a little bit more high end, slightly more high end. Well, actually, no, not Stella Artois. This was, you know what? Let's just say it. This is going to be like local microbrew. It's that kind of quality. It's local microbrew. And then when I did the 45 to 51, I was trying to push it on purpose. I was like, okay, I want to push this. I want to get like super high, super messed up, quote unquote. See how I handle it, see how I roll with it. Like I said, I had kind of like eased back on the stuff over the past few months, so I was wondering, well, maybe it'll really hit me really hard. Maybe it'll really take me out. And not at all. It actually ended up being a very pleasant experience. I was very high, like incredibly high, but I was very lucid. And I kept that sharpness. I kept that acuity, which was kind of nice. It's nice because I was like hanging out with my wife, and we're having a nice relaxing night, and we're like watching some bad reality television, watching 90 Day Fiancé, and goofing on it and making fun of it, and having a grand old time. And it just made for a completely relaxed evening where I could let go of all of my worries and qualms and stresses of life and the daily grind, and just kind of enjoy a night with my wife and really kind of connect on a personal level, enjoy some crappy television. You know, yeah, so that was a great benefit to it. It was something that I wasn't expecting to come from that. Because actually, honestly, a lot of the times when I do gummies and stuff, it is a little bit more of a solitary experience. I'm always bugging my wife. I'm always pestering my wife when we're watching TV and trying to make her laugh. And, you know, I got a captive audience there. She can't go anywhere. Well, she could, but she's not going to. She's not going to go anywhere. So I have a captive audience I can try all my material on. As you can tell, I'm very funny. And I would say that the high lasted around anywhere from 3 to 8 hours, all said and done. Like if you do like 15 milligrams, even though that wasn't a ton, like the effects of that last a good long while. And it's also, like I said, it's very subtle too. So you kind of slip in and out of it without really even totally realizing. Once you start taking the higher doses, 30 to 50 milligrams, you're definitely going to notice it more. And it lasts a pretty decent time, pretty decent length of time, which was nice. It's like a slow release though. It's something I actually kind of really enjoy and appreciate about it. It is something that's kind of made for the long haul, for the long evening. So for somebody like me, when it's like, 9:30, the kids are in bed, I have an opportunity to kind of chill out, maybe do some writing, do some live streaming, maybe play a video game or something like that before I go to bed. It's a good way to kind of just settle into that and have a nice relaxing night. It's really good. And then get a great night's sleep at the end of it, which is a huge benefit to me. Because like I said, I suffer from anxiety, some depression, sleeplessness, and this helped with all three of those things. All three of those things were mitigated to one degree or another. Because of the effects of this product. And I was really happy to report that. I'm happy that was the experience I had. Oh, and also, the munchies. Did the munchie gods come and visit me? Were they kind? Were they merciful? I'd like to say at pretty much every level, every dose I did, the munchies were completely manageable. Now, that's not to say that if you end up breaking that seal, diving into the cupboard or wherever it is you keep your snacks, that they won't, the flavor profiles won't be elevated, and that you won't have a great time. I mean, come on, who doesn't love getting high and eating a little junk food? But I was able to pretty much stave it off. I'm on a diet, actually. I do intermittent fasting, and I cut out pretty much all carbs and sugar except one day out of the week, which I was able to enjoy one of the higher doses of this on my cheat day. I planned it out so I'd be able to do that. And but even on my cheat day, even the day when I was like, I have wild abandon, I can just do whatever I want, I found it very manageable. And I found it very easy to kind of stay disciplined to one degree or another and stay away from that stuff. Pro tip for all you high folks out there. Get yourself some flavored waters, some flavored carbonated waters. They make you feel like you're eating something sweet. Kind of takes the edge off the munchie experience. But yes, the munchie gods, I would say, were pretty merciful to me with the Elevate Delta 9 Live Resin Gummies. I think Elevate is a really interesting, cool company. They have a whole slew of stuff too. So they offer tons of like Delta 8 products. They have gummies, flour, disposable vapes, carts, capsules, oils, pre-rolls, edibles, bundles. They have a bunch of SKUs for Delta 9. They even have some Delta 9 stuff that is specifically designed to help you get some sleep, which is a cool thing. They have Delta 10. They have HHC gummies. All sorts of stuff over there. And I kind of just like their messaging as well. I really like their About Us page. As they describe themselves as a group of individuals passionate about the power of cannabis, Elevate believes hemp should be available to all those in need at an affordable price. And that their mission statement at Elevate, our mission is to empower individuals to achieve wellness by providing high-quality hemp products along with the proper education and resources. We believe in transformative power of nature and strive to utilize this potential to support our customers' journey toward wellness. Elevate was created with a simple goal: to produce premium hemp products through research and innovation. We want everyone to have the opportunity to learn how hemp can help change their lives for the better. And I really like that perspective. I really like that they're coming from that place, because for me, as much as fun as it is to get rip roaring high and stuff, I'm like 30s, almost 30. Am I almost 37? I think I'm almost 37. And, I've got 2 kids. I'm married. Like, getting rip roaring high is not a priority most of the time. I just need something that literally just helps me unwind. I'm the type of person, my brain is always going. It's really hard for me to just shut off. That's what causes a lot of my sleeplessness. Like, I just cannot stop thinking about stuff. I just can't stop engaging with something or doing whatever. And this just helps slow everything down. Like I said earlier, kind of brings a nice amount of like focus to whatever it is I'm doing or looking at or watching or writing or whatever. It helps. It's been a great boon to me. And I am happy to be able to say that Elevate, their Delta 9 Live Resin Gummies, are well worth checking out. Now remember, if you watch this video, if you made it this far, you can use promo code ZUBOX for 20% off your first order. They have all sorts of different products, like I said, and also there's all different ways you can buy their stuff. Because you can get like a subscription. They have a subscription service where you can get their stuff for a little bit cheaper if you get it, and then it'll be delivered to your door once a month. There's lots of stuff like that. I would recommend people go and check out their website. There'll be a link for it in the description or a comment, so go look there. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I'm Sean. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on ZooBox.